Hi everybody, it's Sunday, July 3rd, and I've got Ed up here in the cornfield. He's got a couple things he wants to tell you.
Well, first of all, it worked. They always say knee high by the 4th of July, and we are a day left to go, and we've already reached that point. In fact, we're quite a ways past it. The corn is doing really good. We did have a big storm the other day. You can see the silt in this field. Carol's garden got quite a dose of water, but I don't see a lot of damage from it. One field I did see a little bit, but very little. This corn was planted, I think, 28th of May. It has been basically 32 or 3 days, and with today's talks about organic and those types of things, I just thought I'd tell everybody that I do spray corn, but I spray with materials which over a short period of time, usually about 30 days, are no longer there. The reason we do that is until this, what we call a canopy. If you can look down the row, you can see the ears are eventually going to form a shaded area. And in that, the leaves. And with everything being in the shade, your weeds and grass will not grow under there. They'll grow a little bit, but they won't grow that awful much. And so we use a spray to keep that down until the corn gets up and forms this canopy, and therefore you don't have to worry about that and go back and revert to what you did when you were a kid, which was cultivate. And now a lot of smaller farms are going back to it. Some do it with horse-drawn equipment. We had a set of cultivators that went on a John Deere A, and these were up into the frame, and the framework would go up and down on the tractor. I think there was one in front of each wheel, one outside of each wheel, both in front and back. And if I remember right, you only did 4 rows with the one we had. But you would lower it down when you came into the end of the row, and it would dig up the dirt, and like you would with a hoe in your garden, to keep the weeds down. Research recently has shown that over in Europe they did this, and they actually covered the cultivators with like a mesh to keep it dark underneath them, because they found that weeds, if they are knocked down when it's dark out, are more apt not to come back compared to if they're knocked down during the day. So using the sprays, that's taken us away from having to do things like that, which they don't sound like much. You're just riding along on a tractor, go around the field. They were very, very time consuming. And today with, well, even if you had the 38 acres or around 38 acres I put in, you would spend days out there. And when you didn't have those days out there, you're not doing your hay. And summertime is when you do a lot of your fix-ups and fence fixing and you name it. So it's just one of those jobs that we use, but farmers are careful. They know what they're doing, and they don't use anything that's going to end up getting in the food chain. We're well regulated. Years ago, before my father died, I had a pesticide license, and you have to go to school so many hours in every season, and then you have to take tests all the time to make sure you know what you're doing. So we'll see you again probably in the middle of May, and we'll talk about the tassel process and the ear making on corn.
Ed's an idiot. He meant the middle of September, right?
Not really. August.
You said the middle of May.
Oh, middle of August. All right. One of those months. We'll be back and see you. Have a good one.
And he's still an idiot.